One thing to remember is that you are also interviewing the company. I would recommend to have at least 2 to 3 questions per interviewer. I would also recommend to research who is interviewing you so that you can make sure the questions you ask are relevant to the interviewer. Hi, my name is Veronica Velasco and I'm the recruiting manager at Dropbox. And in this video, we're gonna go over our application and interview process and give you some insights on how to best prepare. Tips for taking a deep dive into the company before the interview. Number 1 is look at the company website and check out everything they have there. Second thing is check out the company financials. Look at the quarterly business earnings, annual reports, listen in on the investor conference calls. The third thing is learn about the skill the company and role requires. So for this one, really dive into the job description, the responsibilities, the requirements, and take a good look at what they're looking for in terms of knowledge, skills, and abilities. And with that information, you should be able to understand what a qualified candidate looks like for that particular role. And this can help you position yourself better in interviews. Browse the company's social medias. Gain a sense of how the company wants to be perceived. You can also search in Google and Google News. So look up the company name and see what turns up. Another thing that you can take a look at is Glassdoor and other employee sites. Explore the company's Glassdoor listing. This can include the overview of the company, the employee reviews, the interview questions, benefits. There's so much valuable information in Glassdoor. You can also research the field and the competitors. Researching the competitors of the company that you're interviewing with can help clarify for you the company's mission and the needs as well. And lastly, take a good look at your network and see if anyone works or has worked in that company and can provide valuable insight. So every role can differ in terms of the interview process, but typically I would say there's about 3 major interview steps for candidates. So there's going to be a recruiting screen, and this is typically 30 minutes chatting with the recruiter to learn more about your background and seeing if there is going to be a fit for the role. The next step would be a phone interview, or in some cases, especially in the software engineering side, there can be an online assessment that you would take. And then following either the phone interview or online assessment, there's going to be the virtual interview. Some roles do split up the virtual interview into 2 steps. On the back end, there are a few more steps. For some roles, very limited roles, there are reference checks, and these are more so for leadership. And then there is a hiring committee or debrief where we discuss the performance during the interview and see if we're moving to an offer. With the whole process, I would say it typically takes about 4 to 5 weeks. So one thing to remember is that you are also interviewing the company. I would recommend to have at least 2 to 3 questions per interviewer on what you truly want to learn more about. Having questions prepared shows that you're proactive and have a genuine interest in the company and the role. I would also recommend to research who is interviewing you so that you can make sure the questions you ask are relevant to the interviewer. Some examples of smart questions that I've received when interviewing candidates, what is the biggest challenge the team is currently facing? What opportunities for growth and development exist within the company? How does a company measure success in this role? And can you tell me more about a recent project or initiative that the team has completed and what was the outcome? So we have a number of values at Dropbox. The first one is be worthy of trust. Millions of teams trust us with their most important information, but this trust can quickly vanish in an instant. That's why integrity is a foundation of our culture. We do the right thing even when nobody's looking, and we're honest even when it's uncomfortable. The second one is they win, we win. Our customers come first, so we put in the work to deeply understand them. We ask who's the customer and what do they really need. When they succeed, our business and everything else falls into place. The third one is keep it simple. Simple things just work better and make more sense. So we build products that do a few things really, really well. Getting to simple isn't always easy, but it's worth the effort. The next one is own it. We take responsibility for our work from start to finish. When we get stuck, we unblock ourselves. When something goes wrong, we don't ask, what did they screw up, but what could I do better? We learn from our mistakes and keep going until we have real impact. that. Lastly, make work human. Our mission is to design a more enlightened way of working for Dropboxers and the world. So we make products that prioritize our needs as humans, and we build a compassionate culture where you can do your best work no matter who you are or where you're from. So those are our Dropbox values, and the way you can show that you're aligned to those values is make sure that you integrate examples of when you demonstrated these values into your answers when you're interviewing. And that's a wrap. Again, make sure to always do research before your interviews and come prepared. Trust your abilities and just be yourself, and you will do amazing. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one.